Welcome to the Disney Hour Express podcast. I'm Abbie.
And I'm Rob. We are two hopelessly romantic Disney enthusiasts.
Sharing fun stories, secret tips, and family travel experiences.
If you are a Disney newbie, or maybe a season pass holder, we hope you find this information helpful.
We turned our love of Disney into a unique boutique travel agency that books Disney and Universal vacations.
We've got a lot of stories, so cozy on up, choose your favorite drink,
whether that be a cocktail or a hot chocolate,
and enjoy the Disney Hour Express.
Well, hey, Disney Hour Potterneers. Thanks for joining us for episode 74. We are into our summer vibe. We're getting ready for everything, and we're going to talk to you all about 30 days away from your trip.
Now, we'll just say right now, we're not 30 days from our trip. We're not saying how many days we are from our trip. We could be less, we could be more. We're keeping you on your toes, keeping you on your ears.
But make sure to stay tuned to all of our social media because we will for sure be going live from the parks.
This was a listener request, right? He said,
it was.
Hey,
you're right.
You know, you have all these other days. You got a 90-day, you got a 2 weeks out, you got a 60-day, but there's no 30-day out.
No regular old 30 days out. What have we been thinking?
Yeah, exactly. And it's typically not known as, like, there's really, like, 60 days kind of the big one now because of the dining reservations. Yes. But then beyond that, there's no more, you know, you used to, the Fast Pass used to be able to do 30 days out and, you know, things like that. But it's not so much anymore. But it is essential. Like, you should always be working towards Disney.
Yes.
Always be planning, right?
Agreed.
That's what Abbie says to the other travel specialists.
Yeah.
Always be planning.
Always planning. Now, since our 60 days out and we've made reservations, we do have quite a few reservations we need to like readjust and manipulate a little bit because sometimes you get like a little excited and you don't realize that you've booked a dining reservation at 1:45 and then another one at 5 p.m. and you're thinking, how in the world can we eat that much food in such a close amount of time? So
that kind of brings up one of the things that we want to do. And since we're talking about that, is adjusting your reservation time.
Yes.
It's a good time to start that. Now you're wondering, why did we do that? As Abbie said, we got excited, this and that. And that has to do with we have like a 1:45 at Sci-Fi Dine and Drive.
Yes.
And then we have a 5 o'clock at the
Hollywood and
Vine for it's the Fantasmic dining package.
That's right.
So we got that time and then we're like, what? So we're like, well, do we move the Sci-Fi Dine and Drive? Do we move the dining package? We want to keep the dining, like maybe we could go a little bit, maybe a half hour earlier or something, but it's good to we like to have lunch around in the 1 o'clock hour.
Yes, that's true.
It's super hot. That's the hottest part of the day, right? It's usually maybe a little later, maybe it's between 2 and 3, but that means you're going to be in there in the air conditioning during the hottest part of the day.
Yes.
So we do like that. So we were trying to move the dining package. Nothing to be done, right? So I had to go through and I opened up a Mouse Watcher.
Oh, we love Mouse Watcher.
So
live by it.
We've talked about it before in our other episodes. If you don't know about Mouse Watcher, and we'll just talk you quick, if you're just hopping into our 30-day, 30 days out, what are you doing? Go listen to the other ones first. Listen to them in order. Come on. No, but Mouse Watcher's, it's a program, mousewatcher.com. Go on their website. They have an API that tracks every dining reservation. So you put in a request and it's based off the time that you want to get it started. They charge you a fee and it sends you requests. So since I've done that, I've been getting constant request. Like it sends me text messages.
Yes.
Like usually around like 10:30 at night.
When everybody's just sitting in their beds readjusting their reservations.
Because but it's always for like the 4 o'clock hour right now. So I'm not getting them. So if you get this mouse watcher, you're going to get it. And if you're 30 days out, you're probably not going to see the dining time that you want just yet. But as you get closer, as you get to the 2 weeks out, as you get to the 1 week out, maybe a few days before, you're going to see it. Other dining reservations open up because people are always changing. They're usually changing right beforehand, but not so much 30 days out. So unless you want a 4:15 dinner at a buffet to then go to Fantasmic, you can have it right now. But other than that, look, so I'm going to stop talking because Abby's yawning.
I'm sorry. It's late at night. But yeah, I mean, that it's a really, really great service. You do need to jump right on it if you see the time you like, because they fill up super quick. So, but they're great. So today, because we're getting so close to our trip, I went through our Disney box. We're frequent flyers. We have a whole Tupperware bin that we keep in our attic that has just our Disney stuff that we don't really take out of there.
Not a Disney locker.
This is like neck cooling fans, UV umbrellas, cooling neck towels, our ponchos, and a few specialty items like our Mickey Mouse light up necklaces that the kids love. So during this process of taking them out, I plugged in all the neck fans to make sure that they worked appropriately. And I actually ended up buying one more just because I prefer the kids' neck fans. So I just wanted to make sure everybody had a neck fan.
They just seem to fit. The fans fit.
They fit a little better.
Yeah, where you want it to blow on your face. Right?
Yeah. Well, see, I don't want it to blow on my face. I want it to blow on my neck. And I think that's why I prefer the kids' ones. Because when it blows on my face, it dries out my contacts. And that's annoying.
And glasses, Abbie.
Oh, no, thank you.
I love it.
And so also I found that I needed some batteries for the necklaces. So I ordered those. And so just those little things. I went through the ponchos to make sure there was no holes in them. And they were ready to go. I wrapped them up nicely. So it was just like kind of a fun, like, oh my goodness, here we get to use all these fun things, and here we go.
It was fun. Abbie it's part of her planning. That's why she loves doing it.
It was fun. I like it. And then we have some specialty t-shirts that our friend purchased for us for the trip that both of our families are going to wear. So those are in the box and ready to go when we get our suitcases out.
Speaking of our family friend, travel specialist Nicole, I know she had just ordered something that we had seen, and this, if you're gonna get it, you might as well get it 30 days out.
Yeah.
And speaking of neck fans and cooling towels, which is what I prefer, but I also saw this and I looked at the price and I balked at it. I was, whoa! But they have UV umbrellas.
Yep.
That you open up.
Yep.
And it has up at the top of the umbrella, it has a little fan. Mm-hmm. And you hook up a bottle to the base of the umbrella, like the handle that you hold. You hook up a water bottle, and it pulls the water out, and it mists you. So now it's a UV misting umbrella with like a fan that blows down the mist on you. So I mean, it's like,
wow.
Yeah, exactly. Now again, I looked it up. It was a little bit too much I was like, I don't know if I'm getting these for the kids.
Yeah.
Just yet, but.
Right. It looks cool. I think we'll just test hers out because I have a feeling it could get super heavy to lug around with the water bottle at the end and everything. And who knows how heavy the fan is, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's amazing.
We'll let you know.
So yeah, those are all great things to look at, in addition to, getting your UV umbrellas and whatnot. If you need it, you need to be looking at your sunblocks and everything. Like, I know there's a lot of females out there that need to put sunblock in their scalp so that it doesn't burn. So you want to find the oil free. You got to do your research and just make sure that you're prepared for whatever may come. Yeah. And
this is also a good time, as I would say, to get sneakers 30 days out.
Yeah, sneakers.
Get new sneakers. Make sure that they're comfortable. You're going to be putting on a lot of steps.
Yep.
This is the time. Get it now. Try them out. If you have to send them back, you don't want to keep doing that the week, 2 weeks before. So
Rob, how are you doing with your sneakers? Did you get any?
It's so frustrating.
I know.
It's so especially because I feel guilt. Like I don't like spending money on myself. Like I just like, and like everything that's like I want to get. Yeah. It's like, yeah. So I'm dealing with that right now. Hopefully it won't last that long.
Well, another important thing that you have to do 30 days out is make your final payment. That's you got to do it, or else your trip is going to get canceled. So make sure to pay the remaining balance on your vacation package.
And if you have an FTP travel specialist that you're working with, they're going to take care of that.
They will remind you for sure. So we get a lot of annoying emails. But you need to about them people having to make their payments. Let me rephrase that. Not from our clients, but from Disney saying they must make their payments.
Now it goes out.
Stop. Late at night.
Everyone that's listening and that's ever emailed Abbie late at night, they're like, oh, no, that's me. She doesn't. She loves answering these things.
Not. So arrange your transportation. So how are you going to get to the airport, right? On the day of your flight, getting down to Florida. It's like one of those last hurrahs, like, I'm out of here. I'm going to the Sunshine State. But how are you going to do that? So whether it's your Nana and Pop that's driving you to the airport, or it's that
sounds specific.
Uber, or it's
or you're driving yourself.
Which we do. You know, so you got to just, you got to know.
It's a good time to look at things like that. See what the parking is. Yes, so on and so forth.
Exactly. We have a lot of last minute, like, oh my goodness, there's no more parking spots at the airport. And you have to kind of ease that pain and be like, well, there's offsite parking. You need to know all about that. So just get yourself prepared. Now, that being said, how are you going to get from the airport to the resort? You need to make sure you have your mirrors transportation all set up, or if you're an Uber person, just make sure you've got all that downloaded onto your phone, or if you need something fancier, make sure you've got that reservation made.
Is that about Luxy?
I'm talking about
Luxy car rental.
Luxy car rental. It's very nice. Okay, so then in addition, what about strollers, or about if you need a scooter rental or something like that? You absolutely have to have these made. So we work with Kingdom Strollers. We highly recommend them. They have never disappointed us. So Kingdom Strollers is absolutely the way to go.
Everybody, you join the fun of when you're returning your stroller at the end of your trip, and it's just like 10 other people with strollers just waiting for the good person to come pick them up. And
yes, you do have to be in person for those strollers. But they can give it to you at the airport, or they can give it to you at your resort. So they try to make it pretty easy for you.
You make it very easy.
Now, this is one that I was kind of shocked about. You've got to order those magic bands. Now is the time.
Now look, I'll take this one.
Yep, please.
So I started looking at the magic bands, and there were issues. So look at these very well, and what I found was, if you go on DisneyStore.com, which is what it's called now, and you see the magic bands, right? They have a lot. They have about 30 of them. Like they kind of rotate, right? They take some off, they put them on, they add new ones.
Just so that when you go to the park and you see the magic band you actually want, you end up spending double. Yes, that's exactly. Really what happens.
So we were trying to find ones for the girls. They had a Stitch one that was easy for Bailey. They had an Avatar one, and it wasn't. I don't know. I wasn't that thrilled with it. We got our Stitch one. She was happy with. Heidi, we were like, what is she into? They had a Wish band.
Yeah. And
the Wish band was on sale. I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. I'm cheap. I like things. So I went to go, but it only had like a 2-star rating. Why did it have a 2-star rating? Apparently, every print of this Wish magic band is like, it chips it starts cracking very easily on the band itself. And it's like a blurry printout as well. So, like, if you're just kind of blind doing it and you're the person that's not looking into reviews,
right,
and into things, you would have just ordered this, and then, look, you'd be okay with a cracked magic band. But you're spending your hard-earned money. You want like a good product.
Yeah, absolutely. One that lasts, because not everybody goes every single year. You might go every 2 or 3 years, and you want that magic band to last.
So being that happened, I was very disheartened, and I forgot about it for 2-3 weeks.
No,
whereas
but
Abbie
I thought that he had ordered them. He had talked so much about it, and he's just like, yeah, I mean, we got it.
I was looking for another alternative for Heidi, and I just never got around to ask. Like, I was trying to surprise them. It wasn't going to work out.
He's big on the surprises.
And so I wanted to, so then I had ended up asking her, and I decided to ask her which one she wanted, because there was nothing that was like stood out to me as her. So anyway, now she ended up getting a Little Mermaid one. Yeah,
but then she did, and it's beautiful, and I love both of their bands. They're really beautiful and they're exciting. But yeah, there was still delayed on the ordering time. I'm not gonna. He's flopping over the story really. Just
ask me about the driver's license that I realized I lost at the beginning of the month.
I know. Yeah. Well, let's hope that it comes before the trip.
Yep.
In any case, we're doing great, folks. We're doing just
fine. See what she has to put up with.
So anyhow, you can even order the magic plans through your My Disney Experience app, and just take a peek around. It's great. So speaking of the app, now is the time to really dive in well before your visit, just because you want to start looking at attraction wait times, watching tutorials, and pretending to, you could pretend to mobile order, or you can at least look through mobile orders, because if you have high anxiety like I do, and you get to a mobile order and everybody's starving and you can't think, and you're just like, I don't know what I'm going to order. It's so much better to kind of have it in the back of your mind, like, oh, I read that this place has like great chili hot dogs, or they have the best fries available, and then your mind will feel more easy making that quick order because you already know. So knowing a little bit about where and what offers what, and knowing what your kids like, it's going to be more easy.
And so all that is that, right, the majority of the quick service restaurants are in Disney allow mobile ordering, so you can order ahead, so you're not going in there and waiting in line. You could also do that, but you could just save yourself some time. Yeah,
mobile ordering is really the way to go. I promise you.
I prefer to do that. I like talking to the least amount of people as possible in person.
Yeah, I know. So speaking of mobile orders, you might want to start putting together your grocery list. We did this the other night. We started putting it together, just getting kind of the ideas and making sure we were on the same page of what we wanted in our room. Right.
Yeah. And everybody's going to be different. What you're going to know what your room, the amenities in your room are.
Yeah.
So that's important.
Exactly. So I'm excited about that. You can even at 30 days out use online check-in. I'm going to be honest. We never use online check-in 30 days out.
Yeah. I can't say that I have. For some reason, I've had like mixed success with online check-in using the app, and then it's like I feel like I'm always set up where I'm supposed to go straight to my room.
Yeah.
And then I never go straight. I end up just talking to a cast member at the front desk. Either way, I don't know why.
Yeah.
I feel like that's usually the case. Sometimes, like maybe once or twice it's worked. I guess it worked when we went to Port Orleans, I guess. But Animal Kingdom, we talked to somebody.
Port Orleans, we were there we walked in quite late at night. Yeah. And then Animal Kingdom, I'm not sure. Was there something
I don't know,
about our reservation that we had to...
Yeah, it was like we weren't sure
whether we were in Kidani or in the lodge.
In the Jumbo, yeah.
Yeah, that was very confusing to me. Yeah.
Yes.
But in any case, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. A lot of people are under the impression that if you wait, you'll get like a better room or something.
It doesn't.
Now, it really, I can't say that that's the case, to be honest, because these, there are requests that are previously made, and so then they're honored most of the time. Like, let's say connecting rooms, or they want a room that's closer to the transportation. Those are special requests that are put in, and you can make them at the desks too. But you want to make sure that you make them early on as well.
Yes, get those requests in early.
Any case, so it's up to you, your preference, of course. And then we've got to check now 30 days out for portable charger check. That's a big one. We have a lot of these, but they seem to like kind of scatter, and then they'll come back and whatever. So we always like to make sure we have a lot of portable chargers. Now Disney does have those. What are they called? They're like the little circular chargers. So they're called something special that I can't think of. Power banks or something like that. But they're expensive, and so we like to bring our own, and we have a system, right?
You get them less expensive, and they're more battery power to them.
Yes, so that's important. It's important to make sure that you have these things, or that you order them, so that you are not left off guard. And, right?
I tell everyone, if you're going to Disney is not one of those vacations where you just leave all your stuff behind. Like, you sometimes can.
Sometimes.
There's one of you can. Abbie. One of you could just turn off your phone. Like, everyone I know is here.
I know.
Everyone I talk to on a regular basis is here.
What do you guys think of that? I would really love to hear your opinion, because when I go to Disney and I'm there with, my core 4, right? Or I guess you're my core 3, and then my best friend's there who lives all the way out in Texas. And so I don't need my phone anymore. Like, I've got everybody, and I can take the pictures, I guess, but I don't necessarily need to keep my Wi-Fi on, because I don't care what's going on out there.
So I, in turn, I'm running through like 2 batteries a day.
I know.
But that's just part of that's part of how it all works.
It is, and I think you've known this about me forever. I gave you fair warning that this is how I roll. Yep. Now, also, I always make sure to have hydration tablets or packets when I go. This is embarrassing. It had to have been about 15 years ago. Nicole and I went on a trip, and I just got like so severely dehydrated that for like 3 or 4 days after my trip, I was still going to like the emergency walk-in, because I was like, something's not right. And they're just like, you're just dehydrated. You need to drink more. And I'm like, I don't understand. Why do you feel this awful when you're just dehydrated, right? So my preferred hydration packet at this time is actually called Drip Drop, and it's great flavors. I used to use the Noon hydration tablets, and I thought of this because Noon was on my desk, and I still have them, but I found that when you're in your standard like water bottle that you buy, the Noon tablets actually don't fit in, and you have to like break them in, and it becomes a little bit of a chore. And so the Drip Drop, you just open it and pour it in like a Crystal Light packet or something. It's really, really easy.
That's what, and I was doing, I was using the emergency tablets.
Oh, okay.
And I was dealing with the same sort of thing. I had to break it open and get it in, just because I think one of us was sick, and so we were trying
to stay healthy.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. We actually do sometimes pack a lot of emergency, or start taking emergency before. I know I tried to give
not 30 days out.
Not 30 days out, but that's more of like a week or so out. We try to definitely boost our immune system, because you are going to be surrounded in a lot of different people. Yeah. Now this brings me actually to my next subject, which is something I do now, and I didn't used to do it before. I actually always pack some masks, and I know that nobody's really using masks anymore, and it's a thing, but we did have a situation where we got really sick after Disney, and we actually didn't have any masks, right? We didn't have any of the appropriate disposable masks, and so then we had to go find them and figure that all out and order and stuff. So now I always bring extra masks, because if we do get sick, it just makes me feel like a better human to be able to pop them on.
Yes.
And that's who we are. And so just consider, bring it if you have some. And plus, masks fit your face different, and our kids have preferred masks, and we have preferred masks, and we just happen to have those here. So why not pack a little to the side? It doesn't hurt.
Anytime you're going to be in a place where there's going to be a ton of people, it's just always good to be prepared. Yeah.
So one of the things too, I just told Rob, I said we need to start making our ride priority list, right? So we pretty much know where we're going every day. We've got that all sorted out, along with the restaurants we're going to go to. We already discussed that. So now we just need to have the ride priority list. So I know that on our Animal Kingdom Day that Sir Eli is obsessed with Cali River Rapids, and that's his number one. And I said, no problem. We will absolutely go on that one. Yeah. But we also have...
Go on that while I'm in line for Avatar.
Yeah, we also have Avatar. Both those rides are pretty big priority deals for us. So we already know that we've got 3 big rides that we must go on that day. So we've got to calculate which ones we want to tackle first and how that's going to look, right?
Okay.
And so that's the kind of thing that you want to be looking at. And along with discovering your My Disney Experience app, you can look at the wait times for those
and you can
see what's going on.
Yeah. And it becomes like sort of a habit for the rest of us Disney folk that while we're not at Disney, we're usually checking. We just randomly let me see what the wait times are. And
absolutely.
That was kind of like the genesis of the queue when I used to ask Abbie all the time what
what's the last
we used to run around the queues in Disney.
Yep. We also 30 days out like to try to get our family walks in so that we can
start getting ready,
get the kids adjusted to walking and whatever shoes they're going to wear. And just have a conversation about the rides. And this is where we kind of pick their brains about what's their most important ride to go on. And
especially if you're doing that transition from the kid from stroller to walking. Like you want to go on walks with them to make sure that they're ready and they're aware. You're not going to obviously put in the 20,000 steps that you will do at Disney.
Right.
But it's just good. And and then we basically, as we're walking, we're just talking about Disney.
And they're so excited and so ready. Like we went strawberry picking today and I can't tell you how many times Heidi's just like, I can't wait for Disney. I can't wait. And I love hearing this. I love that they love something that we are so into as well. And it really warms my heart. But I was saying today to another set of parents, I was like, we go to Disney every year. And I was like, I don't know what's going to happen when the kids grow up and they don't want to go to Disney anymore. I was like, I guess Rob and I will just keep going to Disney.
Unless they want to.
Unless they want to, which would be lovely.
We have a lot of, people, we have a lot of the travel specialists, right? They're all kind of, 20s and stuff. And they still love going. It. So they, all through their teens, they liked going.
Yeah, it's a priority for them.
Fingers crossed.
But what else do you think needs to come 30 days out?
Well, it's kind of like the important thing for a lot of people out there, and it's now you have to kind of know what this is all about. But it's the DAS pass, right? The DAS.
And that's 30 days out.
And DAS stands for, I know,
Disability Access Services.
Yeah, I know. I was just making sure that.
Abbie, sure, of course. Roll my eyes.
So this year, we did go through that, and I happen to be the one to
facilitate the meeting.
Yes, facilitate that. And so there's a lot of things that have changed. We talked about in our last family trip that Abbie had qualified for that.
Yes, so I take a medication that actually it causes heat intolerance. Yes. And so I qualified for it. It was no question whatsoever. I just mentioned it. And I happen to still have a really visible scar, I think, at that time from the surgery I had. So
either way,
it was just no question. Now reading over the new circumstances, I knew that I wouldn't qualify this round. So we just went, we had something else that we wanted to ask about.
Yes. And so it's a much different procedure that you go through for the most part. Once you get actually hooked up, you do have to go to the DS website and you log in, and you have to check to make sure that you have that your phone, your camera works, and that everything hooks up. I went on a laptop. You start a chat with someone, and you have to start chatting with them and on a text on your computer, and then you're supposed to switch over to where you're actually talking to them on a camera. Of course, I was on my work laptop, which didn't have the camera wasn't turned on, so I couldn't. She couldn't see me. She was talking to me, and it was this whole thing, and it was. So I was a little frustrated because you would wait, and then you get on there, and then you answer all these questions, and you add all this stuff, and then it didn't work, and that's my fault. And I switched to another one.
Switched to my laptop.
I switched to Abbie's laptop, and I was able to pretty much pick up from where I left off. But then I got on the camera, and I'm talking to this very helpful, nice cast member who is dealing with this, and I'm going over what we are, the reason why we're presenting for the DAS. And so they're telling me oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And they asked to now bring on, they're I want to bring on a medical professional to talk to you. I was oh.
Which is new.
I was okay. All right.
Yeah.
And so they said, let me, connect. And they're going through the connecting. And then they bring on this medical professional. Again, was very nice. I didn't really get, they didn't really say what her profession was in the medical field. But I guess she was a medical professional. So now I'm talking to both the cast member and this medical professional. And they're going over, all these details and asking questions, and they come about now. In the past, when Abbie had qualified, DAS, there was one thing that they offered, right? And it was that you were able to book a ride, you look at a wait time of a ride, and you were able to book that wait time and then just come back to the line. And, say if it was 7 Doors Mine Train was a 90-minute wait, come back in 90 minutes, and you could go into the lightning lane, and that was it.
Yes.
Now they have different packages or different, I don't know, I'm not going to call them tiers, but they offer there's different offerings for DAS based on what you're dealing with. Right. So there's there's an option, and that you're able to go into a line and then leave that line to then come back into the line and not lose your place. Which doesn't sound, it's not very helpful.
No.
It's kind of I was kind of what?
So it sounds like the family would be splitting up.
Yes.
And now when they mean you come back to your place in line,
some people have anxiety and they don't want to wait, and they don't like waiting in lines, and that's perfectly fine. And it's based off of different, behavioral, diagnosis that you get, and it goes, and so there's some anxiety with waiting lines. Doing this, I think, just causes more, having this program just causes more anxiety.
Yes.
For everyone.
It's
so the person that's affected, it's now, because you could be in the, I keep thinking of Avatar, and it's winding queue that it has as you're going up into before you get into the actual building. If you have to get out of line, you have to walk so far back through all these people that are also kind of testy, and it's just, that's, and now if a person's or a child is upset already, now it's just causing everyone stress.
Yeah.
And then you're supposed to tell the cast member, like, oh, well, I'm going to come back here when the rest of my party's up.
Right, which is only going to cause issues for a lot of reasons. We've already heard that it's caused a lot of anger, right, within people in lines thinking like, oh, okay, great, we're a couple people less. And then all of a sudden your family gets up to the beginning of the line and you come back and then no, this other person is now kicked back into where they were before. Yes. But also the family that's staying in line, they're going to text you and then you don't really know how long you have to get back there, right? It's not going to be accurate. What if they're holding up the line because they're waiting for you?
And now they're waiting in the front. And
now it's just like a whole disaster.
And the only reason I could see them doing it, and this is where I'm kind of like, Disney, come on.
Yep.
Is that they're doing it to try to... Maybe they feel like there were too many people that were using this as an alternative to getting Genie Plus and using the lightning lanes and all that. And that's why I feel like they're doing that.
Yeah. I mean, and that's true. That's true. But I think what I would prefer to see maybe, because again, high anxiety me, can we have a Genie Plus pre-booking so that we can make some plans? Beforehand, and whether it costs us money or not.
Yeah. You like to have that option.
I would like to have a plan. So that being said, we are kind of like, okay, well, we're going to be using Genie Plus
now
because not only do I still have my heat intolerance issue, but we weren't able to kind of fulfill this other issue. So now we've got to start 30 days out looking at what Genie Plus prices are looking right now. And we need to put aside those funds to make sure that we have them. So yes, they've definitely got us for an extra $400 at least. Yeah.
So we were like, well, we're going to have to do that.
So it is what it is for us. But some people just, can't do that, and that's completely understandable, and it breaks my heart a little bit.
It does, and it feels totally corporate minded, and it's just like we'll increase this we'll increase the revenue in Genie Plus if we cut this out and offer this, and they'll never know the difference, and it's something. And so it's a little bit there's going to be more. I think I want to figure out who to send an email to, and I really want to make sure.
Well, there is going to definitely for sure be some sort of legal ramifications, because especially if you're going strictly by the rules that are on the DAS page about how it's really meant for neurodivergent, children 14 and under. Well, your neurodivergency doesn't go away. You're still going to have this, although maybe you can manage them better, but you're still going to have it at 30, 52, so it's not for the people, and shame on you, Disney, for that, for sure.
So that is something that you qualify to do 30 days in advance of your trip.
Yep.
That's when you have to do it within that 30-day time span. You can't do it before. So 30 days out is the time when you could go ahead and go through that interview process and finding out. And I haven't heard anybody that's done it since the change after the change date and had a positive result just yet.
Nope.
So
nope.
I don't know. If you're out there, let us know. We'd like to hear from you.
Yeah, exactly. In any case, so that's a lot of good.
On top of that,
tell me.
Based off of being that we just had that conversation, I'm not going to do it today because our episode's already running a little long and I want to get to the news. Next week, if you're tuning in, I'm going to go through a Genie Plus refresher course.
We need it, baby. We do. We've had a lot of questions about some Genie Plus, so I think that's a great idea.
Yes. So
absolutely.
Here's a teaser. So tune in next week.
Yeah. I mean, so this is actually what I was going to say. Your first theme park day starting at midnight, you can purchase Disney Genie Plus to prepare for making your first selections, right? Am I correct in that?
Yes.
So starting at 7 a.m. as well. Yes. First selections at 7 a.m.
Yeah. So, So he'll
go into more of that next week. But I'll say
this right now is that you don't have to be up at midnight to get Genie Plus.
What? What? Of course you do, because then they want you to be totally exhausted when you get up then at 7 a.m. to start making.
It's okay. You'll be able to purchase it at 6:30. More likely than not. We'll talk about that more situations next week.
In any case, what kind of news do you have for us?
Yeah, so I was going around. There are some things happening in all the parks. We got Tiana's Bayous opening. They've had some issues, right? They're still
working out the kinks.
Yeah, they're working out the kinks. So they were supposed to be on the first day of pass holder previews was this past week, and they weren't happening. So the pass holders were there, and they just were calling their groups, and then the groups just weren't going through, and there were delays and so on and so forth. So that's kind of that's what a preview is. So I'm not going to hold too much on it.
Okay.
That's what it is. You're taking a chance. You don't know if it's going to actually work. It's, it was the same thing with the God, I can't remember the
Guardians.
Guardians, but then
Moana, Journey of Water,
the Star Wars, and then
all the
anything.
Things. They got to work the kinks out for sure.
So anyway, that's kind of an ongoing story. Now over in Frontierland, there's a lot of things happening. Country Bears Jamboree
coming,
which is closed, but it's gonna reopen on July 17th.
Yes, and there was just like a great Soundscapes episode. Was it Soundscapes?
Yeah.
It was something, and I was watching the making of the music and stuff. It was really cool.
I fell asleep.
Great. Well, I mean, they were singing soothing music. So.
I guess so. Still, Country Bears creep me out. I'm not going. Anyway, but the Country Bears, so they're opening. What's closing is right kind of next to the Country Bears Jamboree was the Shootin' Arcade.
Yes, that's
which
right.
Looked like it was just like it was a thing where like you went and grabbed like this air gun and you would shoot targets. And
yes. You okay?
Excuse me.
Aww.
Yeah, I'm dying over here. I never actually did it.
No, I always feel like we'd walk by it and be like, that we could do that at like a regular arcade. Like it wasn't anything like new or different.
And before 2021, it actually cost money.
Yes.
To do it.
Yeah.
Since then, it's been free to play.
Okay.
But still, it never got my attention. Anyway, it's closing.
Yeah, for good.
It's going away. And there's going to be I wish that there was something kind of like cooler going in there, but it's going to be a DVC lounge.
So Specialist Nikki said this to me the other day. We were sitting at our office desks, and it's so funny because every once in a while we'll shout out new Disney news to each other as we work, and I was like, I literally stopped typing like mid her saying that, being like, well, that's an interesting choice. Like, what?
Like, here, we're taking this off, and we're just going to make it exclusive.
And yeah, okay.
Yeah, something that everyone was able to do is now no longer gone. And
right.
It's really just like a quarter, maybe 15% of the Disney population is going to be able to take advantage of.
But it is what it is. There it goes. Not that we were using it before. And maybe that's what they thought.
Exactly. Yeah, so that's closing. The kind of like the bigger news this week over in... Oh, God, excuse me. I'm really... Abbie's
I think that he's been outside all day today, and so maybe some allergies are getting to him. Or maybe it's the candle that I wrote.
I don't have allergies.
My love spell candle. Does it smell? Is it tickling your throat?
Put a spell on me. And now I'm yours.
Isn't it the truth, though?
There were permits filed. We love permits around here.
We do love permits and contracts of the sort.
So there was a Big Thunder Mountain Railroad permit filed for a renovation. It's called General Construction Permit. And it's set to expire on August 8th of 2025.
Okay.
Everyone is speculating that it's just the beginning part of the expansion, the Beyond Big Thunder Mountain expansion that's supposed to be happening at Magic Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know. Just that a permit was filed, so that's just like a big thing, right?
Yeah.
Now, we anyone that's been on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad recently could admit that it needs some, refurbishments.
Little TLC.
Yeah, so it could just be that, but I feel like they wouldn't be doing that unless they were planning on bigger things happening. So that's kind of like the exciting news.
Yay!
It's news, but not news type of thing. Stay tuned to D23 for more.
That's right.
They're going to save everything for that. So we talked about the shooting gallery. The other thing that's closing now is over at Adventureland, Tortuga Tavern.
Ooh, what?
The quick service restaurant, it's closing. Or it's closed indefinitely. Well, because last D23, they talked about the new Pirates service. I think it's a sit down service. I think it's a table service restaurant.
Oh, is that coming for real?
They think that's what it's going there.
Okay.
Like, we don't know. Like, they haven't said anything.
Yeah.
But it's speculation again that's where it's going to go in the Tortuga Tavern, which is right across from Pirates. And so that would make sense.
That would be awesome.
That would be right there.
Yes.
So that Tortuga Tavern's closed. You can still go there and, like, you can't get anything, but you still go there and, like, just enjoy the shade if you want to. And they haven't, like, closed off the seating areas, I guess, yet.
Okay. All right.
But you can't get any food.
Amazing.
Now cutting over to our good friends at Universal.
Hey, Uni.
They filed not a permit, but a patent.
Oh, okay.
It's a Universal dynamic seating patent. And it's a seating pattern that will give guests more control over their ride experience. And it's kind of hard to explain based off of the picture that's provided. But I will put it over here so maybe Abbie can see it.
Oh,
it
okay.
It kind of looks like you're on a minecart platform on a roller coaster.
Does.
But you're on like a seat, like a kind of roller coaster seat, but you're swinging. Like there's the minecart is connected. It has like a backing panel, and then you're on like a swinging kind of contraption where your seat is as well. So it's again, it's hard to explain. It's like an elevated swinging pendulum seat.
Okay.
But it's supposed to like make you feel like you're always in motion even when you're not. Is what they're describing it as. And that it can make you feel like you go straight from sitting to standing, like, but I think it's supposed to also give you some sort of control over that.
Okay.
So I don't really get it just based off this one static picture.
Okay.
It's basically a stick figure picture.
Do they usually make patents for things like this?
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they do. So that's all part of it.
Yeah. No, I guess it is. You're right. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. So that's, as far as I know, this dynamic seating pattern, I don't think is supposed to be used in any of the new Epic universe. So I don't know where that's going to come into play, but it's going to come to play in something. Maybe they're going to use that in the minecart, the Donkey Kong minecart madness, but I don't know.
I don't know. That's very cool. Good to know, though.
Over in Universal, still, they had some big debuts of drone and projection light shows this week.
I saw that, and I was kind of like, interesting timing. All right.
Yes, they're just
kind of right behind
they're like, all right,
Disney.
Dreams That Soar. Check out Sensational over here.
Yeah.
So Sensational's I don't know if it's daily nighttime show that's happening at Universal. I think it is.
That's one of the things about Universal. I've really felt like they need to update all of their evening shows because, well, they close rather early, to be honest. And their little firework is like literally one firework that goes off, or like more like a flare, I think. So
now they have kind of like a big deal, right?
Okay.
So it's a drone show that utilizes water screens, fountains, lasers, and more special effects.
All right, they're getting to it.
There's all types. It happens over in the lagoon area of like San Francisco.
Yeah.
But Universal Pass holders have special seating. If you're a Universal Pass holder, you can go to a special place and have great seating. So that's something to look forward to if you do that. Otherwise, it happens at 9:00 and you're penned in with the rest of the crowds as you go in there. But I watched the majority of it. I kind of skipped around a little bit. I mean, it's all about the movies. So they're doing there's a lot of E.T., there's a lot of Shrek and Minions, because they have the DreamWorks animation is now part of Universal. And, there's just a lot of stuff. There was a Jaws thing, which I saw, which was pretty cool, but and like everything turns to red and then it skips. But it was like Back to the Future, because you're hearing the music and you're seeing stuff. And, I really would have loved more of like that. I think there wasn't enough of the old stuff, but they do have Ghostbusters and Fast and the Furious. I was like, okay, all right, Fast and Furious drone.
Yeah. Well.
Transformers. Anyway, it looked pretty cool. It's like I think it's a 22-minute show, so that's pretty good. It's a decent length.
Yeah, that's a lot longer than the one at Disney Springs.
Yes, and then there's also, and this one I didn't watch, but they also have the Hogwarts Always.
Oh,
is a show. It's a projection show that's done on Hogwarts Castle.
Yes, that's been like very seasonal up till this point. So
they've had something where it is, but now this is a new thing, and it's supposed to take you through a year in the life of being a Hogwarts student. So it kind of like it's supposed to show you what it's like to be there, and I guess it's projection. There's fireworks and. I mean, the Hogwarts Castle itself is just cool to look at when it's lit up at night, which I don't think I've seen because we always leave early-ish. Or we're there in the summer and it doesn't get dark until 10.
Usually don't have it, or
I don't know.
I don't know.
So that's something cool to look forward to. And they're saying this is going to run through August, and that's usually when the Halloween Horror Night starts, and they do kind of like a dark arts projection show. It changes to that. So, but if anytime during the summer you're there, you could go check the Harry Potter
so cool
projection show. And that's really my roundup for the week.
I mean, that's good. We got it. If you guys have any questions at all, we're happy to hear from you. Give us a shout out over at our email or wherever here.
You can just head right to our website, familytravelplanner.com. You can get
go.
everything you need, all our socials, all our emails. We just have the one for the both of us.
Yeah, that's right.
You can get in contact with anyone, any FTP travel specialist, whatever you want.
We're here for you. We are here for you. Now, I also want to say Happy Father's Day, Rob. Thanks for being the best dad ever. Oh, he's getting embarrassed.
I'm looking for someone to transfer the topic to.
Never. You're the best dad. We enjoy you so much. And we hope that all the fathers out there that listen to our show are had a great Father's Day and have a great week.
Been a Family Travel Planner production.